Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 190 of Crunch Time with the N326 Deal. I'm your host today, Sam Godsey, and with me today, as always, is Tanner Dislin. Tanner, how you doing tonight?
Sam, I'm doing pretty good. I'm hoping we can maybe get a good football game tonight. I don't think we're gonna get it. Spread is like 10 and a half or 11 and a half or something
No
like
Jane
that.
Daniels.
No Jaden Daniels for Washington. We are recording on Monday. Um, the point that we're trying to make here, specifically the NFL slate, awful. Guess how many? So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There have been 12 football games this week,
Yeah,
including Thursday. You know how many ended in this single digit difference?
one.
One.
Jeez.
Jets Bengals.
Which everyone was tuned in on that one.
Which, like, in the end, it ended up being a pretty good game. How many screens were on Jets
Yeah,
Bengals? Like you said, what is it? Joe Flacco and the 3-win Bengals versus the winless Jets.
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, every other game was uh, double digit spread or a double digit margin of victory. College football slate, I mean, I guess marginally better.
Yeah,
We did get another casualty that some people called on this podcast.
yeah. Somebody, but don't fear. This Monday is the famous sports equinox.
Yes.
We have five major U.S. leagues playing today. We obviously have that Monday night football, which we briefly mentioned. Commanders versus the Chiefs. We have the NHL. We have NBA. We have World Series Game 3 tonight. And if you care about this league, which I don't know many, but MLS is also playing playoffs right now. So we got it all. I know there's college basketball going on. So lot of fun stuff going on. We'll try to talk as much as we can about this college football NFL slate all on episode 190. Tanner, where do you want to start?
Um, let's start. I mean, we'll start with the better slate, I guess,
Okay.
and then yeah, start with that. Kind of get football out of the way, and then maybe move on to some more exciting stuff that's
Yeah.
going on. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Let's do it. So we'll kick off with some college football. Kicked off in SEC country. Ole Miss beating Oklahoma 34-26. Now, there's been a lot of talks about this game. The Sooners had a chance to win this game. They had a 26-25 lead. Was it a slow start for the Ole Miss offense? Was it a breakdown of that Oklahoma defense led by obviously Brent Venables? What happened with the Sooners?
Uh to be honest, I just the the Oklahoma offense has been bad for a while. I know
Yeah.
we've been talking about the health of John Mateer, which is a major factor, obviously. But when it comes down to it, like you said, Sam, they were down 12 at half. Like they were down pretty handily early on in this game, and they tried to make a comeback, even led for a little bit
Yeah.
in that third quarter, but you fell down. You got a fell into a huge deficit, tried to make your way back, and then you couldn't come up with a stop in the fourth quarter. And you didn't score in the fourth quarter. Major problem. I think my takeaway from this, like Ole Miss, again, I don't think they're the elite of the SEC. They're probably better than I gave them credit for, but Oklahoma might just be on the on a steep decline for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I don't think any of these two teams are that good. We saw Ole Miss struggle on the offensive end for the first time on Saturday.
In that third quarter.
Um, but a win's a win. Definitely more concern on that Oklahoma side. John Mateer, we kind of talked about Link, so I won't bring it up again, but there is serious concern about this team moving forward, especially the health of John Mateer being the main issue because they were one of the more explosive offenses early on in the season, and that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, I keep talking about the middle tier of the SEC, right? Because the elite of the SEC is pretty clearly A&M, Bama, Georgia, right?
Yeah,
Then this middle pack, which I think Ole Miss is the best of that middle pack, but it's like Ole Miss, Tennessee, Oklahoma, probably Missouri is in there. Of teams that are like good, should be ranked. If they play like a middle tier, if they were to play like Northwestern, they'd beat the crap out of them. If they were to play
yeah,
like, Minnesota, they would beat the crap out of them. Same with like a middle tier Big 12 team.
hmm
But they're just not, whenever they play the elite of the SEC, they're just not going to compete. And yeah,
yeah,
I think that's what we're getting here. So the middle tier that continues to maybe win a big game, lose a big game, all against each other, and then at the end of the season, they're all ranked, 9 through 20, and that's how it is.
yeah, yeah. That kind of kicked it off on Saturday. We had another good one at the 11 a.m. slate. South Florida getting upset by Memphis 34-31. Tanner, this American Conference has a very interesting race that a lot of people are kind of looking over because it's not one of those power four, power three, however many power conferences they claim now. Navy is currently in first, 5-0 in conference, 7-0 overall. Tulane 6-1, 3-0 in conference. Memphis obviously got that big win over South Florida. They're 7-1, 3-1 in conference. South Florida 6-2, 3-1 in conference, and then North Texas 7-1, 3-1 in conference. People need to start paying attention to that American League, man, or
Yeah,
American Conference. I should say.
it's going to be really interesting to see how this one ends up. The problem, though, I think, well, obviously, this has major implications. I think, based on everything you just read, the American is probably going to get that Group of Five nod.
Yeah,
Um, Now, all of those teams have put together good seasons. I think the Group of Five candidates last year were air quote better
yeah,
football teams and had a better argument that hey, they can win a few games in the playoff. Really, when I say that, I mean Boise State and Genty and
yeah,
and that
yep,
team. So, uh, everybody should pay attention because it's going to be an awesome race. I mean, they're also really fun games. I mean, two of the best teams in the American, Memphis and South Florida, scored 65 points back and forth. Come back from Memphis, like all that was great. These games are going to rock. The teams are pretty good. There's going to be a lot of points. I just don't know how real they are when compared to the power conferences
hmm
this year.
yeah. Navy. Haven't really heard much about them this year. They got kind of a tough slate coming up. They got North Texas this weekend. Then they go to Notre Dame, and that's where their fate will be
Mm,
tested. And then South Florida. Then they go to Memphis, and then obviously the Army Navy game. So it's going to be super interesting down the stretch. But
yeah, and
wanted to highlight that conference.
looking at America or at Memphis's schedule, they do have that game against Navy in the last week. 2 weeks before that, also they're playing Tulane,
Yeah,
so that'll be obviously be a big one um, in the American. So
yeah, it's
I'm sure there are a lot. If you go through all those teams, there's a lot of teams that still have to play each other, and things
yeah,
will sort itself out sooner rather than later.
yep, yeah. It's gonna be a fun race down the stretch. Definitely fighting for one of those spots in the college football playoffs. But another team, excuse me, vying for a college football playoff spot. Virginia had quite the scare on Saturday as they eked out a win against the bad UNC Tar Heels 17-16. Now the question is, Tanner, was it the right call to go for two?
Yeah, I would have gone for two. Absolutely. You're at home. You're obviously the team has just been a disaster so far. And I'm a big believer that like the longer you play the game, the more likely it is that the better team will win the game.
Yeah.
And Virginia is the better team. UNC knows that. Virginia knows that. Everyone knows that. So I totally agree with the decision to go for two. Play calling, we can have a discussion about that till we're blue in the face. He was just one measly yard, half a measly yard, a quarter of a
Yeah.
measly yard. I mean, he was just, just short. Credit that Virginia defense. They showed up when it mattered, but the panic button, I mean, obviously you're not panicking. Virginia is still riding a, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game winning streak since they lost to NC State, are 7-1 on the year and control their own destiny in a not too scary ACC. And the rest of that schedule doesn't look very scary. So the panic button is not anywhere, not on the table. But these last 2 weeks, you've played Washington State and North Carolina, and you've won by a total of 3 points.
Yeah.
That's a little bit
A
concerning.
little concerning, but a win.
Exactly. And when you have the wins over Florida State and at Louisville on your schedule, you have the luxury of just win every week. Doesn't matter how, doesn't matter where. You got the big wins on your schedule, so now you just have to avoid the loss. And they've done that. And
Yeah.
they've done that. They've done that.
Yeah.
And that's a luxury that some teams that are on the bubble, like a team like Iowa with 2 losses, they can't afford that. They have to
Yeah.
win decisively in against opponents that are inferior to them in order to make their case. Virginia has that luxury from a couple big wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Virginia, another storyline can be very interesting down the stretch in that very top heavy ACC conference that is all over the place. The SEC, the new Big 12, as we stated last week, to much people's
Some people out
some
there give
people loved it, others not so much. By the way, saw this comment that we were just saying the SEC is bad. That's like the that's just not the case.
People forget that Big 12 had Baylor with RG3, TCU with Trayvon Boykin, and a really high-powered offense there. They had what were some of the other teams in there? That
Oklahoma State.
I mean, Oklahoma State with Mason Rudolph in that team. Oklahoma
Yeah.
was in the Big 12.
Texas.
Like Texas was in the Big
Yeah.
12. Although I think they might have been bad during that stretch.
Yeah,
But still,
they were.
The point is, it was a very good conference that played a ton of offense and not a lick of defense.
Yes.
That was our point.
Yes, correct. But back to this game, Alabama, in a game a lot of people expected them kind of cruise South Carolina against South Carolina. End up only winning this one by 7. South Carolina's just threw this one away. They were up 22-14 late. Unfortunately, for another team in this conference, it wasn't the biggest collapse of Saturday. But talk to me about this game. Is this just a gritty win by the Crimson Tide, or is there some blame to be put on Shane Beamer and the South Carolina coaching staff?
Look, South Carolina choked it, top to bottom, personnel, coaching, all of it is going to be questioned, and all of it should be questioned because this season, I mean, you're a preseason ranked team. Your quarterback was supposed to be one of the best. I know he'd gotten injured, but the team was supposed to be good, and it was supposed to be vying for competition in that SEC, and it just has not gone to plan. They're now 3-5 on the year, a very winnable game here, and they choke it away. All in all, like, yeah, they competed, but that's when you had the preseason expectations of South Carolina, all of that doesn't matter. I look at this Bama a step above that Virginia. Like, should they have beaten by more? Probably. They're to the caliber of the team they are. They probably should have beaten by more, but you're on the road against a team that still has talent and a good quarterback when he's healthy and playing well. Like, he's a really good talent, and you left there with a win. I don't know how you can be mad about that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, shout out Deontay Lawson, forcing that late game fumble that led to the game winning touchdown. But I think you kind of nailed it on the head. So I don't have much to add. And probably the game.
Real, real
Go
quick,
ahead.
real quick. We got a candidate. So this is going to get into much. This is a much larger conversation that I don't think we necessarily want to touch, but obviously the SEC and the Big Ten surely have a rivalry between the two conferences. We have been of the opinion that loyalty to conference is bizarre.
Yes,
I
correct.
hate a lot of the other teams in the Big Ten. I love when they lose. I love seeing Wisconsin lose. I love seeing, Michigan lose. I love seeing Ohio State lose. There's nothing better in the world than watching them lose. The SEC's obsession with itself as a conference is bizarre. None more evident than when Lane Kiffin was coaching a game on the sideline with an SEC sweatshirt on,
Yeah.
not an Ole Miss sweatshirt, an SEC sweatshirt. Uh, Lane Kiffin has gone to Twitter to talk about how Alabama and LSU deserve spots over like non SEC teams. It's
Hmm.
really weird. It's obsession with itself. Now, with all that being said, the SEC is the best conference in football. We have said that. I think you agree with me on that.
Yeah.
It is the best conference in football. It's the deepest conference in football. But the way the SEC treats itself and puts itself on a pedestal is a little weird to me.
Yeah.
And none more evident than this tweet from SEC numbers guy.
Oh Lord.
SEC numbers guy. Talking about this Alabama win.
Okay.
Alabama knocks off preseason number 13
Yep.
South
Yep.
Carolina to
Yeah,
continue
that was
rolling.
crazy.
No one is hotter than the
I
Crimson Tide.
I did see. Well, that means
That is true. No one is hotter than the Crimson Tide. That may be true. They're an absolute buzzsaw right now. But
yeah,
or maybe no, actually that's not true. I think one team is hotter than the Crimson Tide.
yeah.
And that
Um.
team happens to be in the Big Ten.
So can we claim Iowa got a win over the preseason number two?
Iowa with a huge win over the preseason number 2. But
I mean,
the
crazy.
story after that was, of course, what you can't celebrate that. That's a team's lost 3 straight and fired
Hmm.
their head coach.
Yeah. Lost their starting quarterback. Yeah.
The story after this one is, wow, preseason number 13 has a lot of talent. Alabama won that game. Well, what a win for the SEC. Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. And it's another thing where it's just like, can people have a normal head? You can look at it and be like, yeah, like, I'm going to be honest. The SEC is the best conference of football because there are so many teams that are the middle of the pack of the SEC dominates the middle of the pack of the Big Ten. It is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
But loyalty to your conference and the SEC propaganda machine is just really bizarre to me.
Very, very bizarre. But speaking of that conference, we had a game that a lot of people had high hopes for. Um, and I don't know if it lived up to the hype, but it kind of did, but it didn't. Of course, I'm talking about Missouri Vandy. Vandy ended up pulling out the win late, 17-10. But we got to talk about it. Bo Pribula goes down, air
Yeah,
cast. Talk to me
not
about
good.
what this injury means for the Tigers going forward.
Yeah, it's very significant. I mean, like, I know a majority of the reason why Missouri got off to such a hot start was more on the running game and Ahmad Hardy, which is fair. It's one of the best in college football, and if Missouri's going to turn it around and end up making a playoff run, it's
Yeah.
going to be on the back of that running game. But the part of the reason it was so successful is because Purbulla was playing well. He was I think he was a 5-star talent out of Pennsylvania. Obviously, went to Penn State, was the prize transfer. The threat was there, and if with the backup quarterback, I think teams are going to need to see it before they respect it. And
Yeah.
Purbulla, the name, all of that, they just inherently respected the passing game, and I don't know if they're going to do that with the backup. And if they can stack the box and stop that running game, it could be a long remainder of the season for Missouri. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. And I know Purbulla hadn't been playing all that well, but still, it's just a whole different vibe around that Missouri team and what that offense can do.
Yeah. It's definitely concerning. I do think what's his name? The backup
Zollers?
Zollers, something like that. Played very well, excuse me. Given the situation, I
Yeah, all things
expected
considered, for sure.
Vandy to kind of just cruise to the finish line, get a big win. And that wasn't the case. Vandy had to work for it, to say the least. This was just a super weird
Yeah,
game.
vibes
Like
seemed
it
really
was
weird.
3-3 for like 3.5 quarters. It was a crazy game for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it not a lot of yards. I mean, we're some of these SEC games, we're seeing 500 plus yards a piece. There was
Yeah.
I think there was a little over 600 in the game in this one. Um, yeah, it was weird. The offense the offenses didn't really come to play. Missouri outgained Vandy by a long shot. But yeah, Vandy converted to touchdowns. Missouri, um, yeah, Missouri just couldn't cash in.
Yeah.
It's just a weird vibes game. It was close at the end, but then when Purbulla went down, it kind of took the sails out of Missouri's case, and
Yeah.
they did score a touchdown with Zollers at quarterback, but yeah, it's just very weird vibes, and I don't know. I think the remainder of the season for Mizzou could be pretty tough, and Vandy just keeps winning. I think that's the only way you can look at this.
Yeah. Absolutely. But we mentioned the collapse of South Carolina. And I briefly mentioned that it got topped within the conference by the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Ended up losing to Texas. I mean,
For all of you counting at home, this is now two of my super dogs that have had 17 plus point leads that did not win the football game. This one at least covered the spread.
yeah,
Pitt did not cover the spread against Louisville, but they were up a lot. But this one at least covered the spread. Would have loved the 3 points, but I just the fourth quarter was a disaster.
yeah,
24-7, Texas won the fourth quarter. If you count overtime, they outscored from the fourth quarter on. They outscored Mississippi State 31-7.
yeah,
Disaster of a collapse. Arch Manning, he had the pick, which we remember watching live. Really wasn't his fault, right? It was a
yeah,
drop.
yeah. It's tip pass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drop, tip pass type of thing. The numbers do look pretty good for Arch Manning. Almost 350 and 3 touchdowns, and with 346. What you got?
all I'm saying is there might be quarterback controversy in the Texas QB room.
With their backup?
He led them to win. I didn't see Arch out there. That's all I'm saying. Arch didn't lead them to win.
He didn't.
He didn't throw the game winning pass.
Oh, he did? Huh?
No, that was Matthew Caldwell. Put some respect on his name. Yeah, Arch Manning was on sideline. Some are saying, not me, some.
just like out of nowhere. Just
He is hurt.
to be honest, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Yep. Matthew
I
Caldwell.
mean, I see here he had one completion and one touchdown.
It's pretty good stat
I
line.
have it down.
Yeah.
I have it down.
Yeah, right in front of Brandon Walker's face.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hate to see that, but I mean, the Texas running game was nowhere to be found.
Now,
Again, week after week, we keep talking about it. I
yeah.
mean, the numbers do look good for Arch. I don't know about the injury. Caldwell with a great pass, but I just it was an awesome fourth quarter for Texas. Majority of the game, it was kind of like Texas may be bad.
Yeah.
Found a way to win. Mississippi State is the most frisky, but
Ass.
most frisky, but also ass, but also will cover the spread team of all
Yeah.
time.
16 straight losses in the SEC.
They've gotten an SEC win. Will they get it this year?
No, probably not.
Who's next?
Is it Arkansas?
It is Arkansas.
Shit, they probably will.
It is Arkansas. But then it's Georgia, Missouri.
Wow, I saw a tweet. Now that you say that, I saw a tweet as like Mississippi State versus Arkansas at 9:30 a.m. on Cartoon Network.
That's funny. All things considered, Mississippi State so far this year has been much better than I thought they were. I thought they'd be one of the worst teams in the Power Five, especially after last year. They have been impressive to me. I've sang their praises multiple times. All of that is in regards to expectations. They're not a great football team. They're frisky. They can have some fun. But obviously they're not a good football team.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be awful. They're not, but they're not good. They obviously should have won this game, but just like Blake Shapen was awesome in this game.
Yeah.
Similar to, Arch Manning in the end, but instead of 346, he had 381, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough that they blew this game because they were the better team for, 55 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're a Mississippi State fan, I feel for you
This is so tough.
because that is absolutely heartbreaking. But we shall move on with another SEC game. This game was an absolute blowout. A&M take cares of business 49-25 to LSU. But the big news coming out of this game, report here first on Crunch Time with the N3262 pod.
Just
Brian Kelly and
1 week
LSU have parted ways. Now, Tanner, we kind of mentioned it briefly last week. Give me your rankings of the job openings. I think we should just focus on kind of the power 4, power 5 conferences. So just a reminder, LSU is open, Penn State, Florida, Okie State, VTech, Arkansas, Stanford, and UCLA.
Yeah, I think you nailed the top 3. I don't think there's much debate on, or I guess you nailed the who is in the top 3. My top 3 would be number 1, LSU, number 2, Florida, number 3, Penn State. Penn State and Florida are somewhat close. LSU, I think, is clearly the number 1 job on the market.
I would agree.
And then I would say Florida at 2, a slightly ahead of Penn State at 3. At 4, now this could get a little tougher, but I think it's Arkansas.
Yeah,
I think it's
Arkansas is just in a super weird situation where I don't think they're bad. Their defense is horrible, but it's just super. It's a very, and how much are they making the transition to kind of take their focus, realize they're never going to compete with the A&Ms, the Alabamas, the the LSU's and transitioning to more of a focus on basketball and baseball. Who knows? But I mean, any SEC job opening is going to be up in the top ranks of
Yeah,
any job
yeah, and
search.
I mean, and it's not Arkansas has a ton of money. Where they allocate that, I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think for a while Arkansas has kind of been in the dumps, but obviously at one time they were a very good program, top five team with a lot of talent. I do believe Arkansas would be number four, and I think they're slightly ahead of who I have at number five would be Virginia Tech. Um, again, like a proud football history. We all know the Enter Sandman entrance is electric. It's just recently it's not been good.
Yeah.
Um,
Correct.
it's been really bad actually, but the Frank Beamer Virginia Tech teams were good. Michael Vick, Tyrod Taylor, a lot of good players have gone through Virginia Tech, and yeah, I think that would be number five. Number six would probably be Okie State.
Okay.
Um, I it's just they've had more recent success. I just don't think historically they have the highs of Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
They don't have the players that have come through the program like Virginia Tech. But like yeah, a big game in Stillwater is going to be rocking. Like it, just like
Mm-hmm.
any Power Four, really most Power Four teams. Um, then number six, I would probably go, or seven, excuse me, seven. I would probably go. I would go Stanford. Then eight UCLA. UCLA is just such a
Wow.
bummer
Yeah.
because their games are always so empty.
No one
No
gives
one cares
no
about
one
college
gives a
football
shit.
in LA. Especially now, like the Dodgers are always going to be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Even like people are maybe starting to come around with the Rams and Chargers, but like
Yeah.
we all know, NFL's king and is going to always win out. And I just, yeah, no one cares about UCLA. That coordinator is fun. I guess their team is a little frisky now, even though they got absolutely destroyed last week. By of course the number two team in the nation is to be fair, but Stanford, at least, I think you'll have some support, and I think like the GM is Andrew Luck,
It is. Yeah.
so you can work with Andrew Luck. That's pretty cool. I think that alone is better than anything UCLA can offer.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with UCLA at eight.
That's kind of crazy. I was not expecting us to have the exact same rankings. But I totally agree. Also, just being just I think it does get kind of dicey after Arkansas. I think you can make an argument for either one. The reason I kind of put VTech above and Okie State, Stanford, I strictly kind of did on fan interest in what conference they play in. UCLA, obviously, being in the second best conference in the country is, and
Worth
you
something.
are little brother to USC. Like you're never gonna get the top, or you're always gonna be the second option in your state. Uh
Your
might be
city.
lower than that.
Your city.
Yeah. Um but yeah, I totally agree. Little fun fact for you, Tanner. Um obviously the thing surrounding head coaches getting canned early is the buyouts.
Yeah.
So let's just
Continues to be the most lucrative job in the history of ever is a
so
fired coach.
starting Jay Norvell with Colorado State, his buyout was 1.5 million.
Okay.
Trent Dilfer, UAB, 2.4 million. Trent Bray with Oregon State, 4 million. Brent Pry, VTech, 6 million. Deshaun Foster, UCLA, 6.43 million. Pittman, 9.8 million. Mike Gundy, 15 million. Napier, 21.2 million. James Franklin, 49.7. And of course, Brian Kelly, 53 mil. Now,
Mamacita.
now let's break it. So Brian Kelly will make over $26,000 per day from the LSU over the next 6 years.
Oh,
Per second, that's 31 cents per second. Per minute, that's $18.46. Per hour is 1,107. Per day, 26,582. Per week, 186,076. And then per month, $808,333.
unbelievable.
You said it best. There's no greater job in the world than being a fired college football coach.
So let's have a little fun here. Just right now, gut reaction. Who do you think goes where? You think who do you think goes where?
Um, I think Rule goes to Penn State.
That rule to Penn State. I'm interested to see where the who goes to the SECs.
I think I think LSU brings on Lane Kiffin.
Okay. Hmm.
I think Arkansas gets James Franklin.
Interesting.
And I had no idea who Florida gets.
I mean, if you're Florida and Penn State, you got to be like, this sucks.
Yeah.
This is awful.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I I I have no idea who Florida gets. I think Franklin goes to one in Florida or Arkansas. I think Arkansas is more willing because they haven't had any success these past couple of years, and Florida has always had the mindset of being a top dog. And did they bring back Dan Mullen?
Hmm.
That would be crazy. Yeah,
Florida is a
Florida is
tough
a
one.
confusing one for me.
Florida is a tough one. Yeah. Where and now I think the other thing I'm trying to imagine is where do you think Brian Kelly goes? Or does he just take his fat check and kick his feet up?
I think he does.
Go somewhere? Kick...
I think he kicks his feet up and calls it good.
You know what makes
Okay,
a lot of sense?
I found a name I like for Florida.
Okay.
Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame.
Sure.
I
Sure.
think that he is
Now,
he's
what if
gonna be
Marcus
coaching.
Freeman was to LSU, the funniest thing of all time, and he
That
just
would be
leaves?
hilarious. That would be
I think what
hilarious.
did I say last week? I said Eli Drinkwitz too.
Yeah,
Did I say it to LSU?
yeah.
Stick with it.
I like it.
I kind of like Matt Rule to Penn State. It just seems
It just seems
right.
like I saw it was Rule to Penn
Yeah, I know.
State, Matt
Yep.
Campbell to yeah, you saw that.
Matt Campbell to Nebraska. Um,
I didn't see who Iowa State got,
yeah, which
but
like, yeah, it is. It's weird because like this Iowa State team was super talented. They got injured to hell, but like it's just such a disappointing season for this Iowa State
yeah,
team, and like I don't know exactly. He's obviously been very loyal there when his name has been popular at other points. Interesting to see how that plays out. Florida's such a tough one. I wonder if Florida takes a flyer on like. I do think Florida's still in play for Lane Kiffin.
yeah,
I wonder if they take a flyer on like the South Florida coach, but I can't. His name's escaping me, but he's done a really nice job
yeah.
in South Florida. Um, that'll be interesting. But if Brian Kelly coaches, you know where I think makes a lot of sense for him to go. The job is not currently open, but I think we all think it will be.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Wisco.
Go back to
I
the
don't hate that.
Midwest. Go back to the Midwest. go to a place where they're in the gutter. It's not too much like a it's not like a drastic shift in philosophy. I mean, it's not like Brian Kelly's, throwing a million times a game like,
Yeah.
Fickle was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like that could be an interesting fit.
I think another guy that could be thrown in the mix with all these job openings, Manny Diaz,
Yeah.
current
Here's the
Duke
DC
head coach,
Here's the
DC.
DC at State recently. Could be
A name that's being thrown around a lot, especially Arkansas, is John Gruden.
hmm,
I personally don't get it. But Nate, so it was actually Tom Fernelli that was talking about Rule to Penn State, Campbell to Nebraska. Taylor Moser, I'm not familiar with where he's coaching, but he would take over at Iowa State.
is that remember they had the thing in the Cyhawk game where it was like the offensive coordinator who like left like his girlfriend was like, I don't like games, and he was like, see ya. Like, I'm gonna be the offensive coordinator here. Yeah, yeah, that
Yep.
is the OC.
Interesting.
So just promote him.
Promote within, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how it all pans out. Yeah. And I don't think this list is staying at this length. I think there's Wisconsin, I think,
Mm-hmm.
is gonna become open. I think there's a very
Auburn,
high likelihood Auburn gets open. Um
Oklahoma. I mean, he was on the hot seat going into the season.
if Mateer didn't get hurt, I think we're having a different conversation. But if Rule leaves,
Yeah, then Nebraska's
then
still doing a
Nebraska
decent
opens.
job.
If Campbell leaves, Iowa State
State comes
opens.
open. Yeah.
It's going to be a very interesting offseason for
Kentucky might be
sure.
open too.
But one job opening that will never be open for a good while. The Iowa Hawkeyes head ball coach Kirk Ferentz leads the Hawkeyes to a ass whooping of the Golden Gophers, 41-3. Tantner, talk to me about this one.
They went belt, baby. It was a classic Iowa performance where defense got a touchdown, special teams had a touchdown, the offense, like in the second half, the game was so far out of reach, and Minnesota was not getting anything that like didn't seem like Iowa needed to press, but like the offense early on, a couple scripted drives, got the ball going through the air a little bit too. Like it was a pretty awesome game,
Yeah.
top to bottom. Bronowski, dude, I just like he's so good. And like the throwing numbers, I get it. Like he made a couple nice throws, but then of course we were up 38-3 and we didn't throw at all. So he only had 19 attempts. But like, I don't know. He's such a weapon with his legs. He's has the ability to make nice. He's made a couple nice throws throughout the season down the field. I think he's really good at football. I think he's the perfect fit for this Iowa team that loves to run the ball, and his with his legs and I think Iowa looks good, man. I think Iowa looks good, and obviously we got the bye. If they compete against Oregon, lose a similar game to Oregon as Indiana, I don't like it's going to be unfortunate that in the end we'd have 3 losses and not compete for a playoff or anything. But if they compete against Oregon, it's going to be like, man, this team was good. And
Yeah.
if we were in a Big Ten West, if we were in a season with the Big Ten West, we probably would have won the Big Ten
Yeah.
West.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned that Gronowski is the perfect fit. I think you absolutely nailed it on the head. Never ever since this podcast has started 4 years ago have we ever said we need a guy like Fernando Mendoza, Ty Simpson, the elite of elite. We need an average quarterback that runs the system well and just provides a threat of throwing the ball. And I think we have found that man with Mark Gronowski. Just the ability to have the threat of running the ball with the quarterback and being able to throw down the field 15 yards is something Iowa fans haven't seen in a very, very long time, probably since 2017 when Nate Stanley. Is awesome to see. This offense is absolutely humming right now. They're averaging like 30 plus points per game, which is like a first in forever. Um, Iowa should be ranked. I'll say it. Their resume is good.
I agree.
Obviously very biased.
That the public perception of Iowa and the public perception of Brian Ferentz led Iowa is the reason why Iowa's not.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else on this game? I mean, there's really not much to talk about. Game wise, just a awesome win, Beltag.
Yeah, it's just talk more about Gronowski because, like you said, he has the ability to complete passes that we've never had the ability to complete before, but also brings such a dynamic element to the running game. And Tim Lester is my hero, man. He is like it was put so perfectly by my brother who actually texted it to me, and I kind of want to read the text because he put it so perfectly about how much um, how much I love Tim Lester. He said, let me find it. Oh, he said, hiring Lester was such a good move. Perfect way to start to modernize and fix the offense without drastically changing the identity like Wisconsin
Yeah.
did. And it was perfect. And he's done such a good job.
I mean, he, it still looks the same personally. I think the at level, it looks very similar to Iowa teams in the past, but we're running motion, pre snap motion. We're running those outside jet sweeps with wedging. We're running these design quarterback runs that we haven't seen ever. Tim Lester is that guy. I think, Kirk Ferentz has finally loosened the reins when it comes to the offensive game plan, and he's seen the success and is going to just keep opening it up more and more to Tim Lester, and it's going to be super fun to watch.
Yeah. And I think you're like in the end, you look at the box people who are box score watching, they'll be like, ha, classic Iowa, Mark Gronowski, only 130 yards or 130 yards passing or whatever. Like, they can't develop a quarterback, LOL. And then people who watch see the offense moving the ball and see motion and see creative run plays. And then, yeah, that's where the difference lies.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else on this game?
I don't think so, man. It's, yeah, I think this is what the formula always should have been. And that's what it used to be before Brian and the offense really bottomed out.
Yeah, absolutely. But you ready to head to the pro side of things? This is going to be super.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We'll start with some sad news. Cam Scabo
Yeah,
got
dang,
hurt in the Giants Eagles game. That the
pretty nasty one.
Giants obviously aren't that good this year, but Jackson Dart, Cam Scabo, the Hammer Bros was super fun to watch. But just wanted to mention that Jets, Bengals, Jets finally get a win 39-38. Tanner. Jets finally get a one in the win column. Talk to me.
Yeah. First off, it was a pretty sobering day in Jets land. With there was some news of Jets legend Nick Mangold who went public with his search for a kidney. He had been dealing with kidney issues. He unfortunately had passed on Saturday night, and it's fitting that the Jets were able to get the win on a day where they honored one of their franchise greats and someone who was lost way too soon. But in terms of the actual football, um, their defense is still pretty bad.
Yes,
um,
correct.
but Justin Fields and the offense did enough, and good. My first thought was just looking at like seeing the reaction from Jets fans, the players. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's fun to clown. Oh, you win one game. Winning is hard. The NFL is hard, and damn it, they all deserve to win. And it was cool seeing the outpouring of emotion from a head coach getting his first NFL win, and Justin
yeah,
Fields, who is top prospect and always been told he sucks and been benched, and seeing him play well and get this win. Like, it was cool to see all of that. Brees Hall is still really good. Um, Feed him the
correct.
ball. But the offense did enough, and it's just like a good for them type of
Yeah.
win. And if you're the Bengals, oh boy,
Bye bye, Zach Taylor.
yeah, oh boy,
Yeah, it's not good, but man, y'all know I'm a big Justin Fields guy. Seeing him get a win was super awesome. Obviously, his NFL career hasn't panned out like anyone expected, but seeing him get a win in his post game conference was pretty sweet. If you haven't checked that out, go watch it. But good for Jets. Not only the football team but the faithful. It was super cool to see. But yeah, but there's trouble in Cincinnati for sure. Um,
I saw something that said the Jets. Oh, what was it? It was something to do with the yardage, maybe the last two times the Jet. Oh yeah, the last two times the Jets over 500 yards of offense
yeah.
was this game against the Bengals,
Okay.
and then was it 2022 maybe? Jets 34, Bengals 31 under
Nice.
Mike White
Oh yeah.
when they won.
Yeah.
So
That's tough.
yeah, it's really bad, and the defense is so bad, dude.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. Um, just to kind of cap off this bad NFL slate. We got a decent game, probably the best game of the slate so far. Don't expect tonight to be much better. But Packers Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, revenge game, if you will. Um, I mean, is this a sign the Packers offense is back? Is this a sign that the Steelers defense isn't that good with struggling against kind of lowly offense of the Packers lately? And then last week with Joe Flacco and the Bengals who just lost to the Jets. Talk to me about this one, man.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that the Steelers defense is not as good as we thought. They lost to the Bengals last week, and Joe Flacco led Bengals, gave up 33 there. Beat the Browns, but they beat Dylan Gabriel in that offense, which is, struggled all year long. They beat Carson Wentz,
Yeah.
in London. Um, and then they beat the Patriots before the Patriots kind of got hot, and they gave up 31 to the Seahawks. Like, I just don't think the defense is as good as advertised. And then week one, they gave up 32 to the Jets. So the defense is kind of struggling, but I also think Green Bay looked good. Green
Yeah.
Bay looked good. This was they looked every bit as good as we'd hoped, because they had struggled a little bit, throughout the year, talking about, oh, are they as good as we thought? They are. This game showed, yeah, they're good, man. Jordan Love looked awesome. I know, obviously, I'm a big critic of his. He looked great in this game. 360 for 3 touchdowns and no turnovers. Um, Tucker Kraft was the man of the game. Like, if Tucker Kraft can be a weapon, Christian Watson played in this game as well. Had a big reception. Like, um, yeah, he looked good. Jordan Love looked good. The Packers looked good.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Not much else to add. Like we said, kind of a crappy NFL slate. But we'll move on to the World Series. Game one, not much to talk about unless you have some. But Toronto kind of took care of business. 11-4, their bats got going. And then game two, on Saturday, the Dodgers went 5-1 to the Blue Jays. And let's talk about Yoshinobu Yamamoto because he looked freaking awesome.
God dang, is he good, man? He is very, very good. Um, no one has thrown a complete game in the playoffs in a long time. Long time. He's got two this year. Um, he's just really good. He's really good. And the starting pitching advantage is going to end up being what wins the Dodgers this World Series, it seems, because I mean they got to Blake Snell, and that's huge that they were able um to get to Blake Snell. But um but when you follow him up with Yamamoto and then Glasnow after that, oh boy, oh boy. The Blue Jays offense has the ability to do it. They are relentless. The problem is, though, when you put a lot of balls in play, it goes one of two ways. It goes like game one, where Blake Snell has a 30 pitch first inning and it's
Yeah.
grinding, and then you end up scoring 12 runs, or it goes a lot of soft contact, first pitch outs, weak contact, and you look up and it's the seventh inning and the pitcher has 72 pitches and goes the complete game.
Yeah.
So that's just how that offense rolls. And game three obviously is huge in a 1-1 series. The team that wins, the team that wins game three, a lot of the time goes on to win. So big swing game tonight as we record this.
Yeah. Yeah. Big game 3 tonight, like you said. Looking like the inevitable might happen. First pitch at 7 p.m. So about in 20 minutes. So y'all will know how this game went by the release of this podcast. But any last thoughts on this World Series?
Look, game one was great and gave us the hopes that we were in for a series. I pray we are. It's just I'm really scared because tonight Max Scherzer's on the mound for the Blue Jays. He looked great in the CS against Seattle. He put together a great outing. But man, I'm scared going into Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
That we could be in for a rough game three, and then the floodgates may be open. So I think the Dodgers will win. I think everyone's mentally preparing for the Dodgers to win. Please give me a series, especially after this NFL slate. I'm tired of blowouts. Give me a series, man, please.
Yeah. Yeah, we will see. But I want to do a little new segment. It's going to be called the Fast Break. We're not big NBA guys on this podcast, but I think lately it has been a wild start to the season. So I'm just going to give you the quick rundown of it. So let's get right into it, Taryn. Add any thoughts as you may.
Sure.
Obviously, gambling scandal rocked the absolute league. Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, 36 people arrested, illegal gambling. Won't dive too much into that. Giannis Antetokounmpo is still amazing. Historic start. First player in NBA history to open this season with over 100 points, 40 rebounds, and 15 assists through his first 3 games. Reigning MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is absolutely going crazy to start out the season. The Thunder, kind of rough start, 2 overtime games, but Shai is hooping, including a 55-point performance. Victor Wembanyama somehow got bigger and is just a freak of nature.
That's the one I want to talk.
Insane.
Because he has, obviously the stats are crazy. He was 1 block away from a triple double the other night.
Yeah.
The stat of the season so far though is he has more blocks
than 27.
Oh, it was 27 too. I was gonna say 27. 27 NBA teams went down that block.
Insane. Victor Wembanyama, if y'all haven't watched any of his games, go watch him. It might be hard because it's the NBA and he's on the Spurs, but I'm sure he's going to be somewhere on national TV here shortly. Austin Reeves stepped up big for the Lakers, 51-point game, while superstars like LeBron and Luka are already sidelined, shocking no one.
But Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
Um,
Is he still out?
he is Tuesday. And the Knicks play the Bucks, so that would be 4 straight games missed due
Nice.
to load
Load
management.
management, of course. Uh Boston Celtics are off to a terrible start, 0-3 for first time in over a decade. And perhaps the best part for us, Tanner, the NBA is not just on TNT. The
Yes.
NBA return to the NBC side of things was awesome. And then Amazon Prime also getting in on the action, changing the new era of NBA coverage all for the better. Because y'all know we are not inside the NBA, guys. We think it's one of the worst pregame shows out there. So loving what I'm seeing for the NBC show is awesome, and the Amazon Prime might be the best. But anything else you want to add in on this fast break segment, man?
It's been an interesting start. I mean, obviously, everything we say about the NBA, it's like a lot of points, a lot of free throws still going on. I do want to mention one of the best. It's a shame that this rule had to be made, but it is one of the best things the NBA has done, I think, and that is the field goal at the end of a quarter being a not
Yeah,
after the first. It's ridiculous that people cared so much about stats that they would wait till the buzzer to
yeah,
shoot it. Ridiculous, but the change to make it a team field goal, not a personal one, resulting in more attempts at half court shot is brilliant.
yeah,
So I love that. It's made the end of the half way more exciting.
yeah, absolutely. But that's gonna wrap it up for episode 190. As the same with last week, the pick'em will be
Yep.
released later this week. Morel had a pretty nice outing. We'll cover that later this week. But you can follow the podcast at crunchtime_pod on Instagram, TikTok, and X, posting a lot more now. We have some longer episodes. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Crunch Time with the N326 Duo. But the clock has run out on this one, but we'll see you on the next one on Crunch Time.